Poker's legendary champions, next generation stars, and tireless ambassadors of the game, sharing their wisdom and guiding your journey to high achievement on the green felt. This is Tactical Tuesday on Chasing Poker Greatness with your hosts, Brad Wilson and John Chai.
Welcome, my friend, to another episode of the Chasing Poker Greatness podcast. As always, this is your host, the founder of ChasingPokerGreatness.com, Coach Brad Wilson, along with my co-host, John Chai, here on Tactical Tuesday. John, what is up, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I see the hand that we have queued up. Looks like a jack and a six of the same suit in the cutoff in the easy hand replayer, which means you're in the live streets these days.
Yep, still in the live streets. In case you're worried that I opened Jack 6 suited in the cutoff, this was actually a bomb pot, so don't panic.
I'm not panicking at all. You're a much bigger nit than I am pre-flop, so I trust that this would not be in your opening range. Jack 10 suited from the cutoff, maybe. Might be in your opening range. I don't know.
Suited? Come on.
What about the Jack 8? The Jack 8 suited. John, what's the bottom of your cutoff opening range?
I don't know. I can't share all my secrets.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert. It's Jack 8 suited if he's feeling good. Jack 9 on a normal day.
If you're in the big blind, Jack 6 suited gets in there.
Yes, I know this as well. So this is a bomb pot. What stakes are we playing in the live streets? And what's the theme for today's show? Is it bomb pots? Is it Jack 6 suited?
No, there's no just live poker, baby. This is just a straight 5-10 hand. We're not even particularly deep. I think
200
the most
bigs.
interesting part about this hand is that it's a bomb pot. Clearly, I think.
All right, so we have a bomb pot going on. And for the listener who may not be familiar with bomb pots, what is a bomb pot?
So a bomb pot is a hand where all the players at the table put in a set amount of money. In this particular hand, we all decide to put in $30 pre-flop. Everyone gets 2 cards. There's no pre-flop action. The flop gets dealt out, and then action starts from the small blind, and the hand gets played as normal, starting on the flop.
So 3 big blinds, 8 players, so 24 bigs in the middle. All right. Well, with that said, I guess we don't have to look at any pre-flop action since we're all in there against our will. And we see a flop 8 ways. Pretty good flop for you.
Really
pretty good. Yeah. 10-6 tray with the 10 tray of diamonds. So you flop middle pair with a jack high flush draw. And let's look at the action. We have an all in. All right. That's that's a good way to start. By the way, you start with 2K behind, so about 200 bigs. And everybody folds to you on the button. So I guess the first question is like call, raise.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Raising definitely has merit. Like jamming definitely has merits. Calling seems to me like the more reasonable normal play, but I could see merits to jamming Jack 6.
Did you have any sort of info on the button? Any read? Did you peek at them before you decided to take an action? Did they look like they were willing to surrender, ready to go to war?
No, I should have. Again, I think this is like one of the clear examples of like data points that I'm not even looking for, let alone like dropping, was like not peeking at the button. I just assumed that he was gonna fold a lot. I was like, oh, this guy pot jammed the flop. If I call, like, you know, the button's just gonna fold so frequently that I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, that's definitely something that I should have like been peeking for as I'm.
It doesn't cost you anything.
I know,
but it's very free to just like glance over.
In my head, I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna,
They're mostly gonna fold, and if they don't, well, that's bad news.
Yeah, then I'll worry about that when he raises like 1% of the time. So anyways, by the way, the button is like was a very, very strong reg. So it wasn't like, I don't know if I would have been able to glean like a ton from glancing at him. I would guess, just like thinking back on the session, that he's someone that like wouldn't be like, auto mucking his hand before, like while I'm in the tank or something like that, basically. But that's not to say that that's a good reason not to do it. But
Well, I mean, like when the flop comes down, like getting any sort of info on the button would be nice. Like it's not as if the button knows what's going to happen before it happens, and so like if it's just a clear concession, a blank, then
let's go down the interesting path here, where I take a peek at the button and it looks like he's really interested in the hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so, I'm unsure. I think like, so I guess the biggest question here is like, do you want to have a raising range at all? Like, would you just flat your sets here with the button only left to act? Would you be raising with anything?
I think I would flat sets.
Flat sets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. I think what's scary about flatting here is like, if they have like ace 10, then like when you flat, it's like they just get to play very, very, very well, I think.
Yeah.
They could just jam themselves, like if they were really inclined. And I don't think jamming with ace 10 would be like bad.
Yeah. Or even just like 8-9 of dime. Like, like what if he just jams a flush draw?
Then you have to call. I mean, you have to call the jam. Like there's no getting around calling the jam. You have enough equity to call.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think if they have 8-9 or 8-9, 7-8 of diamonds, they're probably just going to call all in when you jam anyway.
Yeah. I think
so. It doesn't really matter what you do.
I guess like what I was thinking of was like, if I jam here, could I get better flush draws to fold? I don't even know if that like, should that even be like, I have a pair. Like, is that even something that should be something I should be thinking about?
I mean, the problem with your pair is that like if they have king 9 of diamonds, they're always going to realize, right? Like they're going to realize all their equity for one bet here because unless you like turn a 6 or a jack.
Yep.
Cuz like on a blank, I assume you're not going to bet.
Right. And if he jams,
then what, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, for the sake of simplicity, I think jamming is like just okay. In the action, there's really nothing that they can do to really exploit you with your hand in this situation. So, yeah, like I wouldn't mind a jam.
Okay.
I think flatting is reasonable as well, but I would be very, very afraid of like ace 10 calling and then like the turn's a deuce and you check. Like ace 10 is probably going to be putting in bets.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. What does he do? What does ace 10 do if I check the turn? Does he just bet small? Does he?
I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not
sure. Be like almost 1,000 in the pot, and like,
almost 1,000. Like, they've got 1,800.
Yeah,
they could bet 70% or so. I mean, they could still like bet big.
Yeah.
They could jam the turn. Like,
yeah, they could jam the turn. Yeah,
I think jamming with ace 10 would be reasonable. So anyway, all right. I think what I've landed on is like just jamming is
just
like
jam here. Okay, I didn't.
So easy. I know you didn't.
Otherwise
I assume you just called.
Yeah, I call.
Oh, and they raise. Nice.
He didn't jam. He raised.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you just stick the money in?
Me?
Yeah. Like a pair and a flush draw is like a good hand, right?
I just don't even know what is like. Am I just jamming here versus like 2 pair?
And how much equity do you have against 2 pair? Like
a lot.
A lot. So like, is it the end of the world? They could have a worse flush, like nut flush draw.
That would be like the disaster thing that I was like thinking of. Like, there's tons of worse flush draws that could raise jam, like all the 4-5 diamonds, 5 deuce, 4 deuce, 5-7.
If they have a set, then like, what are you going to do? You're just going to call. The turn's going to be a diamond. You're going to check. They're going to check back. Hope the board pairs. Like,
Well,
if
okay, so
they have a
that
set
was
and the
gonna be
turn's
like
a
a whole
diamond, then
that was
yeah.
gonna be like a whole conversation here. Was that like facing this raise, like I thought jamming was I don't know. I guess I just didn't weigh how much equity I have versus even like the top of the range like
hmm
properly. I don't even know like what we're in a ball pot. Like I don't even really know exactly like what my equity like versus a raising range is. Like I'm guessing like I'm guessing what I did was just like way undervalued because I just called here and like my question was gonna be like, what do I do on like turns where
Well,
I improve?
you have 14 outs, right, to beat say queens.
I don't think he raises queens.
Oh, okay, then say 10 tray.
Yeah,
You've got
let's say something
14
like 10
outs
tray.
against 10 tray.
Yeah.
Which is like top and bottom.
Mhm.
I mean, and 14 outs is like a flip.
Yeah.
Like if they have, a set, then you've got less, obviously.
Yeah. And then there's
You
some like some other cases where they have like 2 overs and a flush draw or like
Yeah.
A7 of diamonds or something like that. And then there's like similar to that is well,
They
actually
can
not
have 4 or
similar.
5 of diamonds, deuce 4 of diamonds.
Yeah. Like
Deuce
all these
5
things
of
are just, like
diamonds.
absolutely crushed.
Yeah, destroyed.
Yeah.
I think like, there's 1,400 in the pot and you've got 1,760 left. Like it just, you can't lose by ripping here.
By ripping it. Mm.
Yeah. You have a good hand. you have a very strong hand, John.
Yeah. I guess I just got way too scared when I got raised then. I did not rip. I called, which I'm gonna guess is
Like, so now there's 2K in the pot. You've got 1,200 behind.
I'm like, I don't know if ripping is good, but I know that calling has to be fine. Given the price that I'm getting.
Maybe. Do you get to call all in when they jam the turn?
No.
You
I
don't
think so. Yeah.
I don't think so either. And that's not great.
Okay. Before we even get to that point, like, let's just say I do improve on the turn. Mostly to a flush. I don't think like a jack or 6. I wouldn't be like I'd probably just check and go from there.
Yeah,
but like
you probably have to donk all in.
Huh?
You probably have to donk all in.
On all diamonds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine you doing something else.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. Just what about like a 6 or a jack?
I think those hands just check and call all in.
Just check call. Jam. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
As it goes, though, you don't improve.
Yep.
You decide to call. There's 2K in the pot. The board is 10-6-3 with a 10 trait of diamonds, and then turn is an ace of hearts. So you have third pair now with a jack high flush draw. You got 1240 behind. You check, and they go all in.
Yep.
Which is the disastrous scenario.
Yeah. I guess
and you fold.
Way too. Yeah, I do fold. Yeah, just going back to the flop decision.
Yeah, like a pair and a flush draw is a good hand.
Yeah.
It's better than a combo draw.
You know what's really funny was that if I flopped this in like a single race pot where I was the PFR, I think I would have just gone crazy with it and like been happy to get it in on the flop.
Yeah. There's 24 dead blinds just sitting in the middle. Yeah. So it's like no matter what you do with a pair and a flush draw, like it's not going to lose money.
You're getting laid an extra 24 big blinds. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, this is the worst that can happen. Actually, this is
the
nut low. This is the nut low scenario where you don't get a chance to fully realize your equity.
It gets worse.
How does it get worse? So, all in. There's nothing that's happening.
Oh shoot! I guess the action doesn't keep going after I fold. But the river was a diamond, and the small blind ended up winning with 5 deuce of diamonds. So it's worse.
Yeah, I can't click through. The software is not letting me.
Yeah.
So the five deuce of diamonds, huh?
I didn't get to see the buttons hand.
The small blind had 5 deuce of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would assume the button had 2 pair at least.
2 pair plus type hand.
Yeah. If they were watching you and you saw the flop and they realized that you didn't want to play for all the money, then raising ace 10 might be quite good.
Yeah.
I don't know the data points that they were working with, but if they're a strong live reg, they, probably felt inclined to look over at you to see what you were doing there.
he probably is playing a little bit better than me, especially in bomb pots where he's probably played like hundreds and I've played not hundreds.
You played tens.
I've like
Tens of
quintupled the
bomb
number of bomb bots I've played lifetime in like the last week, I think, because I mean, one of the convenient things about bomb pots, especially in time rate games, is that I think it makes collecting time a little bit quicker, and you get to play a hand while the time is being collected, basically. So
Everybody
I've been
wins.
playing it like every 30 minutes, playing one like every 30 minutes, basically. It feels like.
Nice. Well, let's see if you play hand number 2 in the live streets that's totally disconnected from hand number 1 any better.
Not even a bomb pot.
Stick around after the break.
Are you a lone wolf searching for the ultimate pack? The CPG Wolf program is a close-knit brotherhood hell-bent on one thing only: chasing poker greatness. Powered by bleeding-edge wolf strats and led by Coach Brad and his lieutenants, CPG Wolves are systematically prepared for almost any spot they'll encounter on the green felt. If you want to plug into an elite team and have a step-by-step game plan to realize your full poker potential, you can apply at cpgwolves.com. Space is limited, and the pack is only as strong as its weakest member. So only the hungriest, grittiest, and most driven will be accepted into the program. Applications are open at cpgwolves.com.
All right. Welcome back from the break. John is still in the live streets. And you want to set up hand number 2?
Oh, I know the team this week. It's Diamonds.
Oh, diamonds. Nice. Jack of diamonds specifically.
Oh, yeah. Playing hands with the Jack of Diamonds in them.
Playing hands with the Jack of diamonds. We have a whole new list of themes that just got unlocked there with this.
The grid 2.0. One
Yeah.
part at a time.
Will the Jack of diamonds be the new king queen off? I don't know. Let's see. You can set us up with the action. Looks like we're 8-handed, still playing 5-10.
Yep. Playing straight 5-10, no straddle, nothing exciting pre-flop. Under the gun opens to $30. I actually didn't see the open, and I thought that I was opening the button to 30 with King Jack of Diamonds. I don't think it particularly matters. I think flatting King Jack of Diamonds facing an under the gun open at an 8-handed table is perfectly fine.
You played it off, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm calling.
Yeah. I don't want to distract from this hand or take us down a tangent, but same thing happened to me last time in Cherokee. Well, actually, no, it wasn't the same thing at all. It was a different thing. But I raised a button, and I got 3-bet from the small blind and misread the amount that the small blind put out, and I called, and the dealer was like, oh, it's 25,000 more. And I had to just be like, oh, okay. Yeah, here. I had like queen 6 of hearts or something. I was like, God damn it. What am I? How did I waste 25K?
A quarter of my stack just went into
I didn't see it. And then I flopped a flush draw and ended up jamming against the only player at the table that could threaten my stack. And they clearly, it was like a king high board, and they clearly had ace king or aces. I had a gut shot and the queen high flush draw. And I was just thinking to myself the whole time, like, what a way to bust out. I misread the 3-bet size. I would have just folded pre. Now here I am, all in.
Did you flop the flush draw and you're like, well, shit.
Yep. Here it goes. Turned the gut shot. I was like, well, this is probably the lowest equity hand that I have that would jam the turn. So let's go. Mercifully, they tanked and folded. And he was like, he said something along the lines of like, you would not believe what I just folded. And I was like, yeah, you had aces or ace king. He's like, yeah. And if you're bluffing, trying to get people to fold that is like a really bad recipe of the tournament. Really bad recipe for playing tournaments. I was like, oh, you don't even know half of how terrible this story is for you. This should not have happened, but I didn't see the green chip. Yeah, exactly. All right. Tangent completed. So you call the button on accident, but they don't know that it's accidental call. And the blinds fold. I assume you would have called the button anyway.
I think I would have likely 3-bet.
Yeah.
So just I think this context is important for the rest of the hand, but the under the gun player is certainly a recreation. I don't know what to call these guys. Like he's not a pro. I don't think he like plays for a living, but he plays almost every day. I think so. He's like a.
What do you call yourself?
Oh, dude, I'm just a live fish.
When you look in the mirror, what do you think
Dude,
of yourself?
I show up and the list just fills up, man. That's I know. Did you see me play that last bomb pot? Like I didn't even look to see if the button was
Games
interested in
are
the hand.
good. The last bomb pot that you played, I would classify you as like a live nit. Is what I would classify you as. So maybe you just fold pre with the king jack suited.
Oh, thank God! I don't know.
Yeah. Either way, you called.
Good flop for a
The
nit.
flop is ace queen 10. It's the best flop for a nit. You should have a good idea of what you want to do. You flop the joint on ace queen 10 with a backdoor flush draw, which I'm sure came into your mind. Can't even get free rolled here, which would be a major concern of yours, I would imagine. So the under the gun player
I'm just really
goes
concerned
ahead.
that he might have a set.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary. They bet 50 into 75. I'm assuming that you just start piling money into the pot.
Yeah, we're about 250. We start the hand about 250 big blinds effective. Just like you said, flop the nuts here versus players a little bit weaker. I'm just trying to make sure we get all the money in, and I think we have to raise the flop to get that to happen.
Yeah. So like 250-ish?
Ooh, nailed it.
250-ish it is. 250 exactly. They call, which is nice. Just
Okay.
don't pair the board so that we,
Yeah, so before he called, he went into the tank, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here's me. Oh, this is the live pro coming up.
Oh,
So
here it is.
So he goes into the tank, but it wasn't one of those like, should I call or should I fold tanks? Like he looks so good that like I'm convinced that he was thinking about jamming. Like he was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, should I just rip it or should I call here?
Which is something like a set of aces. Or
Something
set
like
of queens.
I mean, I don't know how far down that extends for this guy. Like, if he had that thought with Ace King, I wouldn't be shocked. Which is kind of like, I don't know, kind of does a little bit extra to like paint the picture of like what kind of player I'm playing against.
Sure. Turns to 3. So we're still in business here. You have 2,200 behind. There's 575 in the pot. It's only a matter of how big you want to bet.
I get really big still. I mean, this is like the point where I'm probably like even thinking about like maybe overbetting given what
like 800 or
the
so
types of
seems
hands
reasonable.
that he has like on the flop when he tanks. I didn't go that big. I didn't think I had to go that big to get stacks in. But I do think going like 800 is reasonable. Yeah,
like if you bet like 500, then SPR is going to be over 1 on the river, like 1.2, 1.3-ish. But yeah. So what'd you do? You bet close to pot.
Yep.
550. Villain calls 1675 in the pot. You got 1670 behind. That's good math, John. You're right there under SPR 1. Well done.
Villain tanked again. Looked like he was thinking about jamming the turn.
So I'm guessing that it's not going to be a clean river because that would be really easy. It is the dirtiest of rivers, the ace of diamonds. And villain checks.
Oh, thank God.
Did they check fast? Did they check slow?
Yeah, he just checked. All his checks, all 3 are his checks on the turn and the river were, it wasn't like he was thinking about donking.
Yeah, so the final board is ace, queen, 10, 3, ace. John has king, jack of diamonds, so he flopped it straight. SPR is round 1. So now it's a question of,
Do we have a value bet?
Do we have a value bet or do we not? Or, can you even split here on the river?
A little sad that the hands that we're targeting with a value bet, we block with a king and a jack. Kind of hoping he has hands like ace king and ace jack that will just not be able to fold facing a river jam.
I know last week you checked back a straight flush. This week you're just gonna check back a straight. There's no chance that you bet the river. Is there? Is there a chance?
Gotta let you down here.
You bet the river?
I was like, wouldn't he just jam sets on the flop for the turn? Like a lot of the time, like maybe he has some ace queen, ace 10, but he has an equal amount of ace king and ace jack.
I actually think this is too thin.
Oh my god!
I would just check behind. Like
Jeez.
if it's the 10 pairing, then at least you beat ace queen.
I am a live fish.
I mean, I think that they're just gonna have too many sets and ace queen ace 10.
Yeah. I mean,
I just don't think your hand's good enough, which is why like I was considering splitting and betting like 800 and folding to a jam.
yeah.
Because at least then you can get called by like ace jack, ace
Yeah.
king,
Yeah,
ace whatever. But yeah, I don't think your hand is good enough to put in all the money on this river.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, not shocks. I mean, that's why I brought this hand up. But
How quickly did they call?
so he did not call quickly. I jammed, and then he leaned back in his chair and like kind of like exhaled, and I was like, haha, like I did it. I found the thin jam.
Got him.
And then he called with quads.
It's not showing his hand.
Yeah, I didn't put it. I didn't.
Was it like a legit slow roll, or was he
No,
just...
it was just like a. It was like a. It wasn't a slow roll, and this like. Again, this guy's like a recreational player. I think it was just like I'm about to put a lot of money into the. It's kind of like a relief thing. Like he jammed, or just like. I think like a lot of recreational players do this. Even like when they flop the nuts on the flop, and they just have to get it in for lots of money. It's like, wow, I'm about to like gamble for like lots and lots of money. It's not really about like, oh, I have the nuts and I feel. So I don't think this was like him trying to slow roll. It was just like a.
Yeah, just savoring the moment.
Yeah, a sigh
Just,
of relief or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, this always happens. These live fish, they just give me all their money.
Yeah, what a check
This
on
is
the river. I'm
nice.
so sick.
I am the best in the biz. You dodged the bullet from them jamming, and then you were like, "Wait, Mr. Bullet, can you slow down? Let me stand right in
Let me
front
get
of
back-
you." Okay, now,
Yeah.
now, Bullet.
You're going a little too fast.
Wait, let me get right in line with my temple. Perfect.
boom,
Great.
gotcha.
There we go. Well, yeah, I think as I said, that data point that you mentioned is quite important, that you didn't think they were considering folding, they were considering jamming. And I think it's reasonable that they would have like all the two pairs, all the sets.
Right.
I think it's really like it's hard to get called. You block ace king and ace jack, which is
I mean,
those are the hands.
That's like about as I block ace king, and ace jack. Like it's roughly as hard to have ace queen or ace 10.
Yeah, they have all the offsuit ace queens. They may have all the offsuit ace 10s for all we know.
I would guess yes.
Yeah, and 3, 6, 7 combos of boats that are queens full, 10s full, and quads. Well, can't win them all. Can't win them all. You decided to bet your straight on board the most atrocious river of all time and check back a straight flush. So, I don't know.
Killing it on the river decisions.
Yeah, you are a live pro. Congratulations. Man. You've succeeded. Well done.
I've been waiting for promotion for years.
All right. Well, thank you to the Tactical Tuesday listener for sticking with us during all of these live hand breakdowns. Expect more in the future, and we'll see if we can get the river calibrated correctly over time.
We're going to Cherokee this week, right? So
We are
you might have some live hands.
live tournament hands. Maybe. I doubt I'll be playing it much live cash. The last time I was in Cherokee, I realized that playing live 510 it wasn't ultra stimulating for me. I would have much rather been hanging out with
Just
the
wait
other
till you
wolves
become a
and-
live pro like me, and you'll be having a great time in them.
Yep. I've lived that life. I've lived the 60-hour live pro life, and I don't really miss it so much. I like my life now. Well, that's it.
So tournament hands next week.
Tournament hands next week. Maybe. I might be at the final table of the main event in Cherokee. So
Yeah, or maybe you'll just bust in 3 hands and you won't have anything to talk about on Tactical Tuesday.
yeah, that could very easily be the case. If that happens, I did play Play and Explain on Poker Coaching, so we have some of those hands that are banked up and ready to rock and roll next week. We'll save John from butchering any more rivers. And that's all I have for this week's episode of Tactical Tuesday. One thing that I was told to mention by my marketing team, we have a page up on the website, did a pokergo tournament, the top 64 poker books of all time, as voted by the denizens of the Twitterverse. So if you want to check out that page, click through, buy a poker book for yourself for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I don't know why you would buy yourself a Thanksgiving present. But if you did, hit that spot on the website. And that's all I got.
Yeah, if you're in Harris, Cherokee, from the 1st to the 6th, we'll be there too. So you can say hi. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to Chasing Poker Greatness. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Go to chasingpokergreatness.com to get the newsletter, join the Greatness Village community, book a coaching session, or dive into the latest data-driven poker courses. Follow the show on Twitter at CPG Podcast.